Hello, can you hear me, guys?
Hello, yeah.
Okay. Can you see my screen as well?
Yes.
Okay.
The presentation, right?
Yeah, nothing much. Let's wait for some time.
Okay.
Hello. Should we start or wait for some time? One more minute, maybe. Hey, guys. Hello. Okay, maybe let's start, right? What do you guys think we should start?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Today, 27th January, Identus community call. We're just going to go through the standard stuff. Antitrust policy, please read the antitrust policy. And if you agree, you can stay in the call. And second is the code of conduct. You can follow the link and read it for more details. Okay, let's go to the agenda then. We don't have a huge agenda today, just issue so to review and an open discussion. So, okay, let's see. I'm going to just see. So, which issue you want to start with, Fabio? Do you have any idea? Like what, anything interesting what you were?
So on the announcement, I just mentioned the discussion that we created.
Oh, oh, in the announcement channel you mentioned.
So it's on discussions. I don't know if people have questions or want to talk about something specific. If not, we can talk about this discussion.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe if you want to give the context to
Okay.
everyone.
So basically, it's the discussion that I mentioned in the other day when one of the things that we are trying to do is to do KYC to issue a credential. And KYC might be the traditional KYC, that how it works. We're trying to leverage that to issue the credential. So that flow can be, it's usually starts with a link where the user does the verification, like show the identity card and do the live verification, see those types of things. And there is not a good fit for to how to to go from the traditional way to issue credential than we would use to do KYC in other places. So this protocol that we were proposing is it would be to a way for asking the holder, is this mean the people that are trying to issue to ask for a credential to have a standard way for him to go to a website and start the traditional way of doing KYC. So if we go to the issue credential protocol, they already mentioned some type of this, some flow very similar to this, but it is for payment. So, for example, when you are doing asking for a credential, there is a possibility of having to do a payment, and there is a sub protocol that can be initialized by the issuer to ask for that payment. And basically, the idea would be more or less the same. So in this case, would be a sub protocol that would be initialized by the issuer for the user to go to a website and do the KYC. There is
So
also
just
other ways of
Fabio,
doing this. Sorry.
just wanted to say that where do you in this flow see the start of this new soft flow?
So I was thinking about tapping in between in the issue side between the when receiving the requesting credential and issuing the credential, but it can be also typed on the issuer side from when you receive a proposal credential. So it could be in both.
Okay.
Alan was proposing this on so using that first step, which also makes sense because it can have more negotiation.
Okay, continue now. Just wanted to-
So people in here are proposing other ways of doing it, like having a custom protocol to do everything and issuing the credential, or proposing a protocol that is just the initial part before starting the issue credential protocol. But my view in there is that this type of protocol should be more declarative. So for me, it makes sense for the user to ask for the credential and then the issuer asking for him to do stuff. Because asking for a credential shows the intention. And having a very specific protocol to start doing KYC just to issue the credential, it's more like it doesn't show that. In my view, it's not that declarative, in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't know, questions? Or I mean, this is the context. So there is many ways of doing this.
Yeah.
I was proposing one to be more standard, but in terms of what we are doing right now, we decided to not implementing this protocol and just uh, having endpoints directly for this issue, and then we can, when people consider this type of problem or having a solution how the flow should be done, we can improve that application that we are developing. John?
Yeah, hi. I have not read the proposal, so I'm not informed to speak here, but I have spent a lot of time, have a lot of experience on building KYC flows.
Mhm.
My general question is, where does the boundary happen between your idea and Identus? Is this something that is built on to show people how to interface KYC, or is this actually part of Identus Like,
So
where's the boundary?
so the protocol is a DITCOM protocol, so it would be something to be standard. In terms of what we are developing, it's for RTK. So we're trying to use the DIT Prisma, sorry,
Right.
to issue a credential that basically verifies that a person is a person. So it's very hard for having many accounts. At least it's costly to have many accounts. So it's the goal is to verify that that person is unique, because we want
Right.
to stop bots on Discord.
Right.
And so the bridge between Identus and what we are doing is that we are using basically Identus for building this product. And one of the things that we need is to have like a KYC. And we are trying to leverage the way that KYC is done right now to issue a credential. This would be completely separated from the Discord thing, but we will trust that issuer to verify that the credential is what it is. So basically, we are developing two identities, one to issue and another one for the to be the bot that will be more open source. So we are trying to leverage what we built in Identus to build this product.
Right. That makes all sense. I guess I'm wondering how much, like, so if I download Identus, I'm a developer. Do I have components of this solution in what I download, or is that separate? Is that something that's like an add-on? I guess what I'm questioning is how much of this belongs inside of Identus and how much of this is just here's how you here's how you uh, can use this protocol to link KYC. I'm not
Mhm.
suggesting it shouldn't, but that's where I'm questioning is how much of this should be part of Identus and should just
Yeah,
be an external solution.
yeah, that's a very good question. So what we are doing right now is to have endpoints and documenting those endpoints. So it's not a standard way. What this protocol solves is that it would be a standard way to communicate with that service. So if the community accepts this protocol, this would be the way to communicate with the service. And the service, anyone with needs could communicate with this service. At least this is the plan for the protocol. Do not
Yeah,
have customs and endpoints.
at this moment, nothing is finalized, to be honest. Like if what Fabio mentioned, like that it is like, for example, if community agrees that okay, there is this missing sub protocol and it's needed, and which might help the KYC thing in a like a in a standard protocol. So that's what the idea is.
Yeah, that and all this makes sense, and I think this should be standardized. I guess my question is, in the past, we have brought up, we've had discussions, maybe not on GitHub, but we've had discussions about, for example, login with did, right? These common flows that we imagined people would need to create applications with Identus. And there was some discussion at the time that login with did is not really something that Identus solves. It's something a developer solves with, alongside Identus to link it with something else. So to me, I'm the discussion I'd like to have is how is this different than that? Like what does this belong in the framework, or is this um, sort of this middle ground of something a developer would implement, document, you know, um, standardize all that? But and maybe there's a technical reason, but what parts of this need to belong as part of Identus?
For me, the way of communicating, but go ahead, Pat.
No, I was just thinking this is
How-
a protocol, right? This is a standard. This is basically coming up with a standard protocol to do this through DITCOM. So
uh,
technically, it's not quote unquote part of Identus, except that Identus might implement this protocol as might any other SSI agent, basically, that kind of understands how to respond to this type of query, basically. It's that correct?
Yes. So let's imagine that we basically right now we are building the wallet and this KYC service. So the wallet and the KYC, this first step will use endpoints. So Identus is not able to communicate with that KYC service. I mean, the cloud agent is not able to communicate with that KYC service because there is no standard way of doing it. If the community accepts this protocol, we can implement this KYC service on the cloud agent, and anyone using the cloud agent could communicate with that KYC service, for example. So the goal here is to propose to the community this protocol and see if they agree or if they have better solutions, so we can implement a standard way of doing it.
So, oh, right. But the standard won't be Identus. That's just a standard, right? But
Yeah.
let's say fast forward, this is all done from a marketing or from a, let's say another angle. You're trying to sell someone on Identus on the idea of using Identus. One thing you can say then is, hey, use this cloud agent. Uh, we have connectors built, or you can connect your KYC directly to the cloud agent, and you can integrate KYC easily into your Identus application. Like, is that the advantage here?
Yes, or any other implementation that follows the standards. Doesn't need to be the cloud agent. But yeah, that is
Right,
the goal.
right. Okay. I love it. I mean, as someone who does KYC for a living, like I totally love it. Uh, I was just questioning how much needs to be part of the Identus project and and I'm not saying it shouldn't be. I just don't want to bloat Identus with things that maybe should live on the perimeters. But if it makes sense for it to actually be inside for other reasons, whether it's capabilities or whatever it is, then I can see that.
Yes, so the goal here is to propose to the community, and in the Identus we'll just have a implementation of this message type, as we have for the trust ping, for the for the issuing, presentation, mediation. Yeah, would just be another type of message. So it would be just the implementation. But yeah, we should not overblow Identus with things because I'm trying to simplify the project, not making more complicated. For sure.
And there is, means what there is one good thing in this is like when it comes to issuing credential, I think KYC is something quite required by most of them. So I think it might helpful if you have a protocol standard in that sense rather than everyone doing their own way. I mean, like as like John mentioned earlier, like what is the boundary like? Because this can be solved by anyone by just developing their own way, and it will still work. But yeah, I mean that's how I see. I mean, making a more standard might help for the other people to not reinvent the wheels and just do how it is uh, defined in a protocol.
I remember a while ago, maybe it was from the Edge clients. There was a talk of like plugins. Like, is this something that matches that? Is that still happening? I don't know that I fully understood what the intention of that was, but is this something that feels more like a plugin or is this part of the core?
Yeah, that the plugin thing was more on the TypeScript SDK. I do agree. Yeah, but maybe it could be added there. Yeah, but it's Heavy here. Maybe Heavy can respond better than me. But I know in the TypeScript SDK, yeah, there are plugins architecture they have, and there I guess there's the chances to add. But still, you need to define the protocol first, and then you can develop the plugin, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm not sure if this fits in plugins. I'm not sure all the plugins were implemented. So this would be another type of message. Maybe it can be just a module on as a plugin. to support this? It can be like in terms of implementation, can be split from the project. I don't know. I mean, but that is more implementation details, I think.
Yeah,
But
that is more liberal. Yeah, details, yeah.
But yeah, John's concern is not to overblow the projects, and yeah, we should be careful with that for sure.
Hi guys, I jumped a little bit later and missed the beginning of the conversation. But if you want, I can add my 50 cents to this protocol.
Yes, Ed.
So, in short, Ditcom is awesome for backend to backend communication. So there are a couple of things that allows you to use some redirect or scan out of band message, but the majority of interactions is happening between two peers. And as soon as you need to implement something in a mobile device or web applications, you have to integrate the user interactions into the flow. Like user starts with scanning QR code, some black magic is happening under the hood over Ditcom, and then there is some action that Ditcom have to tell user to perform some interaction, navigate to some page or do some other stuff. And this capabilities of Ditcom is slightly limited in terms of these interactions, and Fabio proposed to add this tiny protocol with two messages that allows you to force user to proceed with some actions in web browser, UI, or whatever. And it shouldn't be a plugin, it might be kind of a small extension to the existing Ditcom protocols to have a better dev experience and to easy implement particular use cases. And if you scroll down, I tried to analyze this protocol and something that Alan proposed. Probably my comment is the final one. Yes, Alan proposed to add a custom message which contains redirect URI, which might be hard to adapt because it's going to be another customization. That's why it's better to have a well-defined protocol for this.
So yeah, Yuri, I was reading further here, and this response could be like a problem reporting message with the web redirect protocol from Aries 700. And from that link, the person would follow with the KYC, and the protocol would resume after.
It's true. It can be built in a variety of ways, but the biggest challenge is to think about interoperability with other Ditcom wallets, for instance, which is a tricky part.
But if you are building a new protocol, then, or you mean to say within the problem report, but it's not that the problem report has like different things, like what you can do and things.
No, but
Each
there's
protocol
this web
purpose.
redirect property.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
what I'm saying.
protocol.
So yes, web direct. That's what I was mentioning here.
And yes, this web redirect decorator is also alternative way to tell user to do some action. Shalish proposes this idea, and it's also possible to figure out the right varying of user interaction, UI, and Ditcom protocol. So it was another alternative option, and you should know that there is a wacky standard for wallet and credential interaction, which is based on REST API, pages, and redirects. Also alternative protocol, but it's not Ditcom. And my favorite words, SIOP 2.0, OIDC for VCI, and OIDC for VP to solve this use case also in elegant manner, but it's only mostly web-based and can be used for browsers only.
Question. So, okay, so is this a specific KYC protocol, or is this more like a meta protocol? Like, oh, when I see custom action required, it could mean KYC, it could mean anything else, which just means this is like a standard protocol to request somebody to hold a specific type of credential, I guess.
Roberto,
Because all, yeah.
sorry for interruption. I thought in absolutely similar manner, and you can read the first statement in my comment that
Okay.
probably it's better to generalize this protocol and rename it from KYC, because KYC is just a solution or use case that we are currently trying to implement, to interaction protocol, because all we do inside of this protocol is ask user to perform some interaction, action, whatever.
I'm in
Okay.
the opposite opinion on there, Yuri.
Yep,
I'm on
it's okay.
the opinion that the protocol should have a very declarative intention. So it should be a very specific protocol just to do that type of things and everything related with that. So when the point is, and again, my answer against using that redirect and things of OOB is that is very generic. My goal is that the protocol is like clear what it should do and the wallet should, how a wallet should like present to the user and what it should do, because the goal here is for asking the user to go to the website and do something in there, and the protocol and the intention is to do KYC.
KYC might
Okay.
be a goal in the message, but KYC is more is an abbreviation from a financial word that means know your customer. And we call this KYC in our conversation, but KYC includes a lot of processes and procedures. So literally, it's not KYC what we are doing. And Nate also told me at some meeting that they conducted a couple of interviews with users who might use this feature, and they were against sharing real identity, photo of real passport or ID, and probably it might be some liveliness check or some other check, but proof of humanness and QIC is slightly different but related things.
I mean, KYC by itself is very generic. Doesn't need to be that specific thing of presenting your ID card. Can be presenting other type of information or just a photo of you.
Yes,
I mean, if it's about the name, I'm free of changing the name, but the intention should be there explicit.
Call it user action, interaction, any other stuff, but one step back from concrete use case is KYC, because all we need is to force user to do some action to proceed with issuance.
Okay, feel free to leave a comment on the discussion. We can change the name. I'm fine by changing the name.
I already left comment. Looking forward for any other ideas for the right name.
And yeah, basically this is what I mentioned about the discussion. If there is no more questions about this, does anyone have any other questions about this or anything else?
No, I don't have any questions.
So I'll review the comments again, and the next step would be to propose to do a discussion on the Discord community and see what their opinion is about this.
I will ask
Yeah,
Chat for the right name. throw it under my comment.
But I think John hasn't read the thing, right? So maybe he'll let him read and he might have his own comments later on as well. So
I also agree with Yuri, though, that I think that this is a gateway to KYC, but not KYC itself. But
Okay.
right, where we're just looking for a Boolean return, right? We're looking for a third party to approve the validity of ID, and that can happen in a bunch of different ways on the KYC side, right?
John,
We're not injecting any opinions about how the person is validated.
yeah. The main idea is to wire the protocol layer with user interaction layer, where you have to navigate, to click something, to do whatever, and then
Yeah.
proceed with the regular protocol is issuance or verification.
Yep.
Yeah, basically everything that we want to do with the protocol is just like ask the user to do something on the web, on another website,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. And this protocol could start at any point. And the intention, why the user should be there, it's like a description on the protocol. So there's a field that is description, and basically that should be shown the user before he opens that website.
Cool.
So I can change the name in terms of protocols and remove KYC, trying to come up with a better name. But more or less the intention is the same. Is for the user, for the wallet to present the user to another website, and in that website it can be anything.
Cool.
Okay,
maybe
I'll have another look to this, and I'll come back next week or after that. I'll write something.
okay, then I think we can end the meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shailesh, for hosting, and thank you guys for attending and discussing this interesting stuff. See you next week.
See you. Bye.
See you guys.
Thank you.